Hello!
And welcome
to Nightmare Nation,
a paranormal-themed podcast where we talk about haunted places around the world.
And scary things.
And demons.
And ghosts.
And murders.
And UFOs.
And aliens.
And cults.
And all things scary.
Everything scary.
Horror movies.
Yes.
Horror TV shows.
Uh-huh. Everything to scare your pants off.
But we also like making you laugh while you're getting your pants scared off.
Freaking hilarious, you guys.
So funny.
We think we're so funny.
We're just two best friends who just like messing around and talking about scary stuff, and we figured why not like record that and put it out there for the whole world to see.
Exactly.
Because who doesn't want to listen to us rant about random shit for an hour?
Because we think we are freaking hilarious, and we know that you guys think we're hilarious because you follow and listen, so obviously you like us.
And also, it's very scary.
It's super scary.
So scary.
We make it really scary for you.
Did we mention that it's scary?
Super scary. You get some horror and some hilarity with our podcast.
Horrority.
Yes!
That is my new favorite word.
We're really good at creating our own words as well.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, I think we have an episode called Fun with Words.
I think so.
Because we make up so many good words. We also teach you things.
What was one of them? That we, oh God.
I mean, one of my personal favorites is stitties.
That's what it was.
Who doesn't love some stiff titties?
Oh gosh.
It's great.
Oh shit.
It's great.
Oh.
So friends.
Oh man, tonight.
This morning?
This morning.
Well, it's tonight for you guys.
We
it's
do this
morning
all the
for
time.
us. Damn it.
It's Saturday at 12
Oh my God,
PM.
I was thinking it was Sunday.
Nope.
Where are we? What's happening?
What day is today? What's going on?
What are we talking about?
It's life.
So I'm super excited about this one. I picked this topic, and it's
so cool.
It's the reason I'm so fascinated with like Aokigahara or the Japanese suicide forest, because just the whole idea of like a freaking giant ass woods full of ghosts and like haunted stuff.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy. Like some of the best horror movies of all time take place in the woods, and a lot of really bad ones also take place in the woods, but I'm thinking
always like, the woods.
But like the Blair Witch Project, the movie The Witch, which like doesn't, I guess, really technically take place in the woods, but it takes place next to the woods. I mean, there's so many good ones, and something about just like a large, eerily quiet forest is just such a great backdrop for all things like so scary. I know, I love it.
It just digs into people's fears of being into the woods.
Yes, like
and
a very
the
primal
darkness, and you don't know what's out there and what's going to come out to get you, or snag you, or snap you, or kill you,
or snap you.
You know?
That's a lot of things that can happen.
Yeah, there's so many things that can happen in the woods, you guys. Okay?
So many things.
So just be aware.
Well, and like if I were a giant, like creepy demon monster thing that wanted to kill people, like that's where I would hang out. Like I'm not gonna go freaking hang out in the suburbs, like chilling under someone's like garage. Like no, I'm gonna be in the woods prowling for lone hikers.
Also, I didn't know how big this forest was.
It's massive.
I saw a map. I was like, holy shit.
We should post that map on the Facebook page because it is a very large area. It is.
Holy balls.
So the large haunted forest that we're discussing today
is the Pine Barrens.
The Pine Barrens.
In New Jersey.
Yes. It is. We're taking you back to the East Coast.
East Coast.
And we're doing an outdoor place for the first time in a while, which I'm excited about. So, a little bit about the Pine Barrens.
Barrens.
Which I think is also just a super cool name that feels like something out of like a fantasy novel or something.
I feel like it's kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? The wording of it doesn't make sense because it's pine and barrens, and when I think of barrens, I think of like ruins and like there's nothing there.
Yeah,
but then
that's kind of what it is.
Pine trees.
Yeah,
and it's a giant forest filled with stuff, so it's not actually barren.
No.
So
no, but like,
there's a lot of ruins, I guess.
Yeah, so like the ruins are
which makes sense.
Barren now.
Yes.
So there's barren places in the pine woods. So you get the Pine Barrens. There's actually, I have some, I forgot, I even wrote this down. I have some detail as to why it's called the Pine Barrens.
Oh, perfect.
So, a little bit more about this fantastic haunted forest.
Tell me about this forest.
I'm going to actually remember. Oh, hey, I'm Annie.
Hey, I'm Anna.
Hey, there it is.
Should know us by now.
And I'm actually going to remember to say my sources before I start talking, which is a freaking miracle. Okay, so my sources were Wikipedia, PhillyMag.com, and OnlyInYourState.com.
I got Wiki, Only in Your State, and
Insider?
Insider, thank you.
There you go. I was like, wait, we were just talking about this. Okay. So the New Jersey Pine Barrens, also known as the Pinelands or simply the Pines, is the largest remaining example of the Atlantic coastal Pine Barrens ecosystem.
Holy bananas, you want to say that 5 times fast?
Coastal Pine Barrens ecosystem, stretching across more than 7 counties of New Jersey.
Oh,
so it's a very specific type of pine forest like ecosystem. And so the name Pine Barrens refers to the area's sandy, acidic, and nutrient-poor soil. So not a lot else other than pine trees can grow there, which is another reason it's called, like, the Barrens.
That's really cool.
Because the rest of it's essentially a barren wasteland where nothing will grow.
But pine trees are so pretty.
But pine trees are so pretty.
I love them so much, especially when you're going up north.
Yeah.
Like northern Minnesota. And it's like you just see the change from all the different diversity of trees we have down here. And then you go up north and it's just
bam.
Pine trees.
Pines.
Just all the pines.
Everywhere.
It's just the coolest thing ever.
And what's cool about the Pine Barrens is because, like, nothing else really grows there, like, when giant fires happen, which is kind of a constant threat, it's actually not a bad thing because, I mean, it is, but also, like, pine trees, in order to reproduce, their pine cones have to be exposed to a certain temperature.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm 90% sure.
That's intense.
So then when they, like, burn, the pine cones get to open up and then plant new baby pine trees.
Oh.
And nothing else is really growing there, so it's not like it's destroying
anything else.
I mean, there's, like, wildlife and stuff, so it's still not a good thing, but
it is to get more trees.
Plant trees. Just look that up real quick.
There's, at Buckle, there's a brand called 10 Trees. And they've got, like, some really cool sweatshirts and things, but every time you buy, like, a shirt or sweatshirt from this brand, they plant 10 trees.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So Ben bought a sweatshirt yesterday, I think, or the day before, and then there's a couple that I really, really want. I mean, they're not super cheap, but I just think that it's cool that you're buying something and then they're going to plant trees for you.
That is really cool. So, I've bought stuff from places like that before, too, and I also bought some t-shirts from a place that... they take part of their proceeds and donate it to nonprofit organizations that save bees and protect the bees.
Tell me what it is so I can save the bees.
It's called the Buzzy Bee Boutique.
Oh, my.
And I got a really cute... Have you seen that green shirt that I wear that has the pine trees on the front? I got it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I've worn it in front of you or not.
So.
But it's super cute. And then my mother-in-law is in love with, like, cute little nature-y shirts or whatever. So I got her... a shirt that says "Plant these, save the bees," and it has all these different, like, bee-friendly plants on it. She loved it. And
that's awesome.
So yeah, they like donate part of their proceeds to nonprofits that protect and save the bees.
So cool.
Which, by the way, guys, bees are necessary for the survival of this planet.
Otherwise, we won't have any food.
Yeah. So
and we will all die. So
yes.
Plant wildflowers. That's what we're going to do when we get a house. We're going to have a little wildflower garden.
Little
so we're going to save all the bees.
Yeah.
And just come in and pollinate.
Cute. We have a little baby one on the side of our house that we want to expand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I was right. Some pine cones remain tightly closed until they reach an extremely high temperature, as would be present in a forest fire.
That's so weird.
Only when these cones are heated do they release their seeds.
I never knew that.
It's fascinating. Not all of them, I guess. Just some of them. But
that's really cool, though.
Isn't that cool?
Huh.
I'm glad I didn't make that up. I was like, I'm almost positive that that's a real thing.
But I'm not 100%
But I'm not totally sure.
It's fine.
Okay, so back to the Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens.
So, although European settlers could not cultivate their familiar crops there, the unique ecology of the Pine Barrens supports a diverse spectrum of plant life, including orchids and carnivorous plants.
Ooh.
Okay, so I guess I sort of exaggerated. Other things grow there, but it is a very unique ecosystem, which is
I
kind
love
of...
orchids.
Yeah, they're really cool.
So
and
beautiful.
carnivorous plants, they're
the coolest fucking things ever.
Can we just pause for a moment and appreciate the fact that there is a plant that will literally eat meat and, like, protein to survive.
Yeah.
Meat-eating plants. That is the coolest effing thing.
Complete backwards.
If you don't appreciate nature, appreciate the fact that there are plants that eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's fucking cool.
They're so cool. I think they're the coolest
and
things.
Venus flytraps that, like, know when something is on them and, like, know to snap their mouths shut. And, like, you are, like, an animal-plant hybrid, and it's the coolest thing ever.
It's like an alien.
Like Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Little shop of horrors, little shop. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, good musical.
Also, can I just put a little input here? Soups quick.
Yeah.
PSA. If you're in nature, pick up your shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Please. It's called Leave No Trace.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the boundary waters or in a nature preserve or something.
Or literally anywhere.
Trash. Yes. Pick it up. Wait till you have a trash can and throw it away.
No one wants to see your nasty McDonald's takeaway bag, in the woods.
Be kind to nature. Nature provides you with so much. If you didn't have nature, you wouldn't be breathing right now.
Yeah.
Or eating or alive.
Or eating your stupid McDonald's.
Yes.
That you then threw your garbage from your McDonald's in
It's
the
not
woods.
biodegradable in the earth.
No. So
Hence landfills that are just still filled with shit.
Hence landfills.
So don't be assholes to nature, please.
If you litter, go ahead and unsubscribe from this podcast, because we don't want you.
Nope.
Or just stop littering.
Yeah.
Change your ways.
Just stop littering, please. Just wait till you have a trash can.
Yes.
Keep it in your car.
It's not that hard.
Just don't do it.
Also, a fun fact about the boundary waters, a very common misconception is that you can just wash your dishes in the water and that
please don't do that.
But people think, and I used to think this too until I was informed otherwise, that all the little minnows and fish would come up and eat your little food scraps. They don't. It just sits there and it's disgusting. And the next person who comes to your campsite will just have floating food trash in the water because the fish 9 times out of 10 don't actually eat it.
No.
And a lot of people think they do. They think it's fine. And it's understandable. If the fish are going to eat it, then it's fine. But they don't. And it just is gross.
Yep. Just take the water out of the lake and do your dishes in a bowl.
Yes.
Please.
So I have learned the error of my ways.
And the soap isn't good for them either.
No.
It's not good for the water.
No, we use special biodegradable camp soap though. That's fine.
Nice.
But you're still you're not supposed to just dump it in the water.
Right.
But
yep.
Yeah.
So just be nice to nature.
Be nice to nature. Okay. Back to the Pine Barrens.
Now on that PSA.
Yeah. We just like nature, okay?
Yes.
So, the Pine Barrens area is also notable for its populations of rare pygmy pitch pines.
Say that one,
Pygmy pitch pines.
That was once.
Pygmy pitch pines. Essentially, it's a little species of miniature pines that is...
Little baby pines?
Little baby ones. And they're known to grow in this area.
I want to look at them.
That depend. So they depend on the frequent fires of the Pine Barrens to reproduce, like I said. What?
All of your sentences today.
Frequent fires.
So many words.
Alliterations. Yes. They're my favorite.
Pitch.
Pygmy pitch pines.
Pine.
Yeah, the fact that they need fires to reproduce is really cool.
That's my kind of tree. Light a fire under my ass so I can grow.
There's just something really ballsy about a tree is that I refuse to reproduce until you burn me to death. Fuck you.
That's the devil tree.
Yeah. That's why there's devils in the woods.
That makes so much sense now. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Okay. This
15 minutes in.
Fun fact. The sand that composes much of the area's soil is referred to by the locals as sugar sand.
Oh, can you eat it? Does it taste like sugar?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably not.
Perfect.
I don't know anything about it other than they call it sugar sand.
All right.
So the Pine Barrens today remains mostly rural and undisturbed. Shut up. I know you're going to judge me for the way I say that word. Rural. And undisturbed despite its proximity to the sprawling metropolitan cities of Philadelphia and New York City. In the center of the very densely populated Boston-Washington corridor on the eastern seaboard. So basically it's a giant area of 1.1 million acres.
Jesus.
Which is crazy.
It's so big.
And it's basically unsettled, undisturbed. That's
so cool.
Yeah.
I wish there were more places like that
it's
around
super cool.
the world.
Okay, so a little bit about how this area, because at one point it was inhabited by some people. So the Barrens formed in the southernmost area of the Atlantic coastal plain in the area now known as New Jersey 1.8 to 65 million years ago. So somewhere in that large date range.
Very large date range.
During a geologic era known as the Tertiary era.
Oh, I've never heard of the Tertiary era.
Tertiary era? I have no idea what happened in the Tertiary era. God, it's a struggle today.
I don't like that word.
So, over millions of years, the rising and falling of the coastline deposited minerals underground, culminating with the end of the last ice age about 12,000 years ago when plants and trees started growing. So, that's kind of why the area there is really different and the soil is super like different content because it's basically just like deposited minerals and stuff from the coastline.
That's cool.
So around 10,000 years ago, the ancestors of the Lenape people, it's either Lenape or Lenape, I'm not sure.
Lenape.
So they first inhabited the Pine Barrens. So the Lenape people are an indigenous people of the northeastern woodlands of the United States and southeastern Canada. So kind of that whole northeastern region. The next human inhabitants of the era came during the 17th century when the area was explored and settled by the Swedish and the Dutch, who developed whaling and fishing settlements mainly along the Delaware River.
Like whaling like whales?
Yes, whaling like whales.
They go and catch whales?
Yeah.
And eat them?
Yeah, and like
Use them for fat?
their fat is used for stuff, and I don't
Okay.
really know that much about commercial whaling, but it's so sad.
That's really
Don't
sad.
kill whales.
Don't do it.
So the English claimed the area as of 1606 under the London Company. So I think the London Company was a big company that like explored and settled different areas or whatever. And the Dutch abandoned their claim to the English in 1664. So early residents of the Barrens who referred to themselves as Pineys, which I think is super
be
cute.
a piney.
Apparently, like that at one point that was like a derogatory term for someone who is like kind of rural, maybe uneducated.
Oh, yeah?
Like, yeah, you piney.
Oh, I'm going to start calling you a piney.
I'm going to start insulting everyone I don't like by
It's
calling them a
fucking piney.
piney, and they're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
I love it.
So the original Pineys included Quakers who had been expelled from their communities for fighting in the Revolution, like the American Revolution, outlaws and smugglers, and loyalists known as the refugees who rode in packs and killed and robbed indiscriminately.
Oh, my.
So it's like the
That's
freaking
intense.
Wild West of northeastern New Jersey.
Yes! That's my kind of place.
Yeah, so like during the American Revolution, like the loyalists were essentially the rebels because
Okay.
they wanted to stay loyal to the crown, and the
Right.
American Revolution didn't, obviously. So they, like the loyalists, basically rode together in packs and like basically became bandits that robbed and killed
I want
people.
to be a bandit.
Yeah,
Can we become bandits?
sure.
Can our cult be bandits?
Yeah,
We can be the cult cocktail bandits.
that's
We
amazing.
can wear little black things
And we'll
over our eyes.
run around robbing liquor stores.
Yes!
I love that.
Oh, our cult just keeps getting better and better.
We'll just keep expanding it with every episode to form. You know, I feel like this is how the other cults kind of went downhill, is they just kept expanding
To absolute nonsense.
to absolute nonsense, and then it went downhill from there. So we'll have to be real careful about where we draw the
God.
line.
Yes.
But I'm fine with robbing liquor stores.
Yes.
So, the first shipbuilding operations began in the Pine Barrens in 1688, utilizing the cedar, oak, and pitch pine trees.
Pitch pine trees.
As well as local tar and turpentine.
Turpentine.
Thank you. I corrected myself as soon as it came out of my mouth. I was like, that was wrong. The first sawmills and grist mills opened around 1700.
It's
So
a grist mill.
I knew you were going to ask. I saw your face. You made a face.
like
Like,
you
what the
knew.
hell? So a grist mill is essentially just a mill that grinds like wheat into flour.
Oh, okay.
It's just the fancy name for
Okay.
it, which led to the first European settlements in the Pinelands. So essentially, they kind of moved in and started these couple of like industries and realized they needed like little settlements to support the industrial activity that they were doing, and they built these mills and stuff. Mm-hmm. So during the colonial era, the Pine Barrens was the location of a couple of different industrial activities. So after they got all the mills and everything set up, in 1740, charcoal operations began in the Pine Barrens, and the first iron furnace opened in 1765.
Oh.
Bog iron,
Bog iron,
yes,
you say.
which is a specific form of impure iron deposits that are mined primarily from like bogs and marshes, was mined from bogs, streams, and waterways, and was worked in about 35 different furnaces in small settlements in the area. So what you kind of have is like these small little pop-ups that are kind of scattered around the area. I almost said era. Oh my god.
We're done.
Area. My brain is so
It's
tired of that
It's
word.
just so hot. That's
Quite
why.
warm. So iron from these early furnaces was instrumental in supplying the American military with weapons and camp tools during the American Revolution, which is super cool. Mm-hmm. They also provided tools and weapons for the War of 1812 and the Second Barbary War.
Barbary.
Which I read that and I was like, what in the hell is the Second Barbary War?
Yeah.
It's apparently a U.S.-Algerian war fought between the United States and the North African Barbary coast states of Tripoli, Tunis, and Ottoman Algeria.
Why the fuck?
I
Were you fighting against Algeria?
I have no idea. Literally could not tell you one thing about that war. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, okay.
So
well, that's cool, I guess.
So the last couple of industries that popped up in the area were cotton mills, which first opened in 1810, and then there was also cultivated cranberry bogs, which is so cool.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I love the
cranberry bogs are so cool.
They're so cool.
Gosh.
You just have this giant flooded area.
Yeah.
Which apparently, Anders told me that they don't actually grow in the water like that. They flood the area to make the cranberries float up to the top.
Yep.
Which I never knew that. That's genius.
Makes it so much easier.
Yeah, no kidding. So then there was a couple of smaller industries such as charcoal making and glass making that were developed with varying degrees of success. But eventually over time, people basically abandoned the settlements, and the forest ended up reclaiming pretty much all traces of the Pine Barrens industrial past, because at one point coal was discovered in Pennsylvania, and all these other resources were popping up elsewhere in the country, so most of the area residents headed west.
Okay.
Because the area was just not super habitable. They weren't really able to grow food very well, so they kind of tried to settle it and eventually had to give up because it just wasn't suitable for human settlements. So what you have is all these little small pockets of ghost towns and little abandoned mills and factories and stuff, because there was never one big city that was built. It was all these little pockets of population. So you have these just hundreds of little bitty ghost towns that are just totally abandoned.
Yep.
And then taken over by the woods.
Yeah.
Because everything starts regrowing.
Of course.
That is so cool.
After reading the article on the Insider and seeing the pictures and learning a little bit more about it, I really want to go to these woods.
It's really cool.
It looks friggin' sweet.
Yeah. So I just think the whole thing is fascinating. One of them in particular was actually restored to in the mid 19th century. It was restored to kind of its previous glory days and is a state historic site. So that's
Oh, that's cool.
Bastow Village.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that. It's really cool. So in the 1920s, housing lots in the Pine Barrens were given away as free gifts for every new subscription to the Philadelphia newspaper.
Oh, okay. Give me free land to subscribe to the newspaper.
Yeah, please. Holy shit, if only it were that easy to do.
Fuck.
I'll take a cabin, please.
So many newspapers.
So essentially they were just kind of desperate. They had this big area of land that no one was using, and they're like, hey, you want to move to the woods? Sign up for the newspaper. And during the Depression, deeds were given out as door prizes at the movie theater. So you walk in, you do a raffle, and you get your name drawn. You get land in the Pine Barrens.
That's fucking sweet.
So fucking sweet.
God, I want that.
Yeah, it's really cool. So then in the 1960s, the Pinelands Regional Planning Board basically came up with a proposal for a supersonic jet port in the Barrens that would have been the largest on Earth at the time. So
oh my.
Their proposal said it would have been 4 times as large as Newark Airport, LaGuardia, and Kennedy airports all put together.
Holy shit.
So freaking massive.
Yeah, I was going to say, those airports are very large.
Yeah, LaGuardia is massive. I haven't been to the other one. No, I've been to Newark. Yeah, they're all really big, international airports. And it would have brought passengers from Paris in 90 minutes.
Paris? You said parrots.
Did I?
I think so.
Almost. Well. Paris.
Shit, that's real quick.
Yeah. And then they would have had high-speed trains from its terminals that would have reached Philadelphia in 20 minutes and New York City in half an hour.
Holy shit.
It also would have eaten up 32,000 acres of land and gotten rid of the entire state forest, several ponds, and a lake. So they basically tabled it and it never started.
Good.
So, but I just thought that was crazy. I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
What? Supersonic jet port? That's pretty cool.
I want to go on a supersonic jet port.
Yeah, me too. So despite rapid urbanization of surrounding areas, the Pine Barrens today remains largely untouched because its sandy soil is so unsuitable for growing most crops. So in 1969, the Pine Barrens averaged a density of 15 people per square mile, compared with 1,000 people per square mile in all the land surrounding it. So it is very rural. And not a lot of people live there.
Perfect.
So another important part, which I've already mentioned, is the constant threat today of fire. So, naturally occurring fires that help the pine trees reproduce are fine, but there's also been a number of really big, man-made fires that have been really destructive. So in July of 1954, in the midst of a long drought, what became known as the Chatsworth Fire started in a cedar swamp and burned almost 20,000 acres.
Holy shit.
In 1965, a policeman in the Barrens set 69 fires and called them all in on his police radio.
Why are you setting 69 fires?
And then reporting yourself.
Jesus.
After he was arrested, he literally he was unable to explain why he'd done it. He just went around and set a bunch of fires and then was like, hey, I did it. I don't know why. Yeah.
That's so weird.
That to me speaks of a manic episode of bipolar disorder or something. You just go and do something crazy and you have no idea why. You just feel like you can do whatever. Oops. And the fact that he called and turned himself in was I did it. I did it.
I started the fire.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Oh my God, we just saw that episode of The Office. so great. Ryan started the fire.
Oh God, that fucking show.
Oh, and then one more big one. So actually last year in 2019, a fire was started by discarded charcoal briquettes that ended up burning over 1,000 acres. So this goes back to what we were just talking about.
Don't do that, people.
If you're going to be in nature, please make sure you put out your fires.
Yes.
And I don't mean just let them burn down until you can't see.
Put water on it.
Dump a whole, when we were in the Boundary Waters, we would literally fill 3 water bottles worth of water and just dump them on the coals.
Yes.
So what the DNR recommends is what you should be able to do is reach in and touch the coals of the fire without burning yourself. And if you can do that, then you're fine. But please be careful. The place where we were camping in the Boundary Waters actually had over 400 acres. I think it was either 400 or 4,000. I can't remember. I think it was 400 acres of forest that was burned down because someone's campfire wasn't put out properly, went rogue, burned down a large chunk of the Boundary Waters.
Well, and especially you can't get people out there to put out the fire.
No, it's completely
it's
isolated. It's in the wilderness. It's not like they have just fire trucks that can drive up and spray it. Yeah. So those people got the bejesus fined out of them. Thank goodness. But yeah, that was back in 2007 and the trees are still growing back. It's just crazy. So please be careful, guys.
Please be nice to nature.
Be nice to nature.
Okay.
Okay. So, just one last final fact is the Pinelands was designated a U.S. Biosphere Reserve by UNESCO in 1983 and an International Biosphere Reserve in 1988. So,
that sounds fancy.
Yeah, it's just a cool, unique ecological area, so it's protected by a couple of different organizations.
Neat.
And then a really fun fact, in the 37th episode of The Sopranos, 2 of the characters get lost in the Barrens after trying to bury a Russian mobster that they had killed, and they have to be rescued from the forest.
Yes. That's so intense.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's been a couple of references to the Barrens and a few other places in the media and pop culture, but I thought that one was kind of fun.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well,
can you tell me about some demons and ghosts?
I would love to tell you about some demons and ghosts.
Yay, I'm so excited.
The Pine Barrens.
There's a lot.
So it is the site of many legends, tales, and mythical creatures. And there's a lot of them.
There's a handful.
There's
many. A small handful.
Also, when Annie suggested this place, I didn't realize that it's a site of the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
And there have been
famous mythical creature. Yes,
yeah. There have been countless episodes on I think Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and then also Destination Truth that was on Travel Channel with, what's his name? I don't remember his name. But I remember them just being out in the forest trying to catch this Jersey Devil that's the weirdest freaking creature in the whole world, and learning about the folklore of it and what it actually is. This is just so weird,
and it's
but
here
so
in the Barrens.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the Jersey Devil has a deep following of people from southern New Jersey to Philadelphia who believe in this. So because of the sightings, many people believe that this creature is an actual animal phenomenon close to Bigfoot and the Yeti. It is often described as a biped, which is a 2-legged bird, like an ostrich, but with hooves.
Cloven hooves like the devil?
Yes. So the common description is that of a kangaroo-like or wyvern-like creature with a goat or horse-like head, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, legs with cloven hooves, and a forked tail.
That's freaking terrifying.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of giant dragon creature.
It's like a chimera, essentially those mythical creatures that just have 8 billion different animal parts all over. It's science experiments gone wrong.
Yep, pretty much. It's just everything in one. That's
sweet.
Terrifying. And it's said to move quickly and emits a loud, high-pitched, blood-curdling scream.
Oh, delicious.
Right?
I love that.
It's like a giant mass bird flying around with hooved feet.
Screeching at people.
God, that
I love
sounds
it.
terrifying.
It sounds amazing.
So the Jersey Devil legend came around in the 1700s from the Leeds family. Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding out she was pregnant with a 13th...
That's too many.
Yep.
Way too many children.
Right? So when she found out she was pregnant with a 13th child, she purposefully cursed the child and said that it was going to be the devil.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Thanks, Mom.
Right? So the mother gave birth to the child, and he was normal until they said that the child changed into a creature with hooved feet, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail.
Cool.
It growled and screamed at everyone in the room. He whipped them with his tail and then flew out the chimney and into the pines.
That's the coolest thing ever.
And that's just a legend of
So he
the
was
Jersey
born
Devil.
normal and then just mutated and was like, fuck y'all, and
I'm
left.
assuming because of the curse, maybe?
Yeah. Huh.
And that it's the devil, so it's like a flying bat devil.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I just want to go there to see him.
That makes me think in Game of Thrones when Daenerys' baby is like a lizard bat winged creature devil thing, which you don't get to see it, but they said that it was born with deformities like that.
Yep.
That's what it made me think of.
Yep. So there have been many reports of the Jersey Devil being seen over hundreds of years. So Joseph Bonaparte, the elder brother of Napoleon,
What?
is also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting on his Bordentown estate around 1820.
That's so cool.
Right? It dates back real far.
That's amazing.
And then in Greenwich, during December 1925, a local farmer shot an unidentified animal as it attempted to steal his chickens and then photographed the corpse. So then afterwards, he claimed that none of the 100 people he showed it to could identify it.
Oh, so he claims he killed it?
He claims that he shot it down, took a picture of the corpse, and nobody that he showed it to could identify what it was.
Oh, so is there more than one, or did it resuscitate itself and then leave after he killed it?
I don't know.
He'd be like, I killed the devil, bitch.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I
I should see if I can find the photograph. If it's on
interesting.
the internet. The interwebs.
I was just going to say that. Why was I about to say that? I was about to be like, the interwebs.
So then during the week of January 16th through the 23rd of 1909, newspapers of the time published hundreds of claimed encounters with the Jersey Devil from all over the state.
It's a newspaper?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So I don't know if just everybody and their mother decided they wanted to go hunt the Jersey Devil and then saw him, or if the Jersey Devil just had a field day and started procreating babies, and then just all the Jersey Devil babies are out.
I think both of those stories are equally as fun. Everyone just go hunt down the devil.
Yeah. And then during that, I think it was during that time, they put a $10,000 reward for catching the Jersey Devil. Obviously, no one caught it.
Except for the stupid dude who shot it and then took a picture.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though. The local authorities are, legit
Get
bought
this
into
shit down.
they're so bought into the idea that they're willing to pay for its capture. That is cool.
Right?
That is cool.
But I mean, like you said, it's such a big forest that I'm sure you can't just walk every square mile to find animals, and I'm sure that there are animals in there that we don't know about, just in the rainforest.
Yeah, there's probably lots of species who live just so deep in some of these uninhabited areas that it's possible we may have never seen them before. Which I love that idea so much.
Especially in the sea too.
Yeah, oh my god.
So many things.
I am so scared of the deep ocean.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The episodes of Planet Earth where they're way down deep and there's the fucking fish with their giant razor teeth and the light bulb thing on their head.
Terrifying.
Anglerfish are the most terrifying creatures on this entire planet. And I just am
they're like little vampire fishes.
oh, I hate them. And the idea that there are just these blind giant, maybe some massive ginormous 300-foot long sea monster living way down in the depths that we have probably never seen before.
Because we can't get down that far.
It's so deep and dark, and everything down there is blind, and it just that it's hell.
Yep.
If you were to ask me what hell is, it would be the deep ocean. It is so scary to me.
It's just the worst.
It's the worst.
So I take it you don't ever want to go scuba diving.
I mean, I don't mind a little bit of scuba diving up by the surface, but the deep, don't ever send me down in a submarine way down there. I will have so many panic attacks.
Done. I could never survive in a submarine.
No.
You are stuck.
Yes.
deep, deep into the ocean.
Yeah.
You can't move. You get a hole in the submarine, you're just fucked.
You're done.
You can't get out.
Yeah, it's
like,
scary.
That's my worst nightmare.
Yep.
No, thank you.
See, we share that in common.
Yes.
Let's not go deep sea diving together.
Perfect.
Okay.
I will not do that. So there is also Captain Kidd. So William Kidd, also known as Captain Kidd, was a Scottish sailor who was tried and executed for piracy after returning from a voyage to the Indian Ocean. So,
that name sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of Captain Kidd.
that's a possibility.
Yeah, that sounds like a familiar, like, tale or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't go too in depth on his history because there was a lot of fucking history on him. So he was, like I said, was accused of being a pirate because people would say that he used the typical walk the plank on his crew members and treated his crews poorly.
Jerk.
So he was arrested and tried for murder, and he was hanged in England in 1701. But the thing is the first time he was hanged, the rope broke. And he survived, and people were like, don't hang him because this is a sign from God that he didn't actually do this.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, don't hang him. And then, like, 5 minutes later, they hung him.
Oh, cool.
And then he died. So.
Oh, cool. Great. He got real lucky the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason he's said to haunt the forest is because some of his treasure is still located in I think it's the Barnegat Bay? Barnegat?
Oh, a
Barnegat.
Can we fucking search for his treasure?
Right?
I want to find the lost treasure of Captain Kidd.
Me
we'll be
too.
like the Goonies.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
Yay! We get to go to the haunted woods and look for treasure.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that sounds great.
I love that. Let's quit our jobs and be pirate treasure hunters.
Oh my god, that'd be the life. So he is said to walk the Barrens with the Jersey Devil.
Oh, they're friends.
Yes, they are.
Cool.
They're best friends.
Okay.
And Kidd is often described as being headless.
Oh.
So.
Oh, that's
just,
fun.
You know, headless ghost walking around in a forest.
Cool.
It's not scary at all.
I love that.
I know. And then there is the Black Dog, which is a ghostly creature that roamed the beaches and forests from Absecon Island to Barnegat Bay. In most folklore, such as English and Germanic, that's weird, folklore, black dogs are considered forces of evil. Except for this dog is considered to be a nice, friendly ghost dog. And according to the folklore, pirates on Absecon Island attacked a ship and killed its crew. Among those killed were the cabin boy and his black dog.
No, now you killed the puppy.
Yeah.
Assholes.
I know. So the poor little puppy's just stranded.
It makes me think
in
like
the
the
forest.
Grimm from Harry Potter, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really common imagery of like something evil or ominous being represented by a black dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like a black wolf or something.
The Grimm.
It is.
Okay, look out.
Shit. Maybe we shouldn't go to this
maybe
forest.
not. I don't know, but if he's a nice ghost puppy.
Yeah.
Your dog's name is Ghost, and he's
I know.
black, so...
Oh, maybe he's the reincarnation of this dog.
Oh my god, you have a literal ghost dog!
Yay! Oh, my baby. So then we also have the Golden Girl, who is a ghost that was said to stare out into the sea dressed in white, of course.
Of course she is.
Of course. There's
why
always
are they
a
never
white
wearing
ghost.
like purple?
No.
Or green
No,
or
because
something
that's just
interesting.
ridiculous.
No. It has to be
It
black
has
or white.
to be white,
Most
yes.
times white.
Yep. And she's mourning the loss of her lover at sea.
Oh.
So people would often say that at the night of her vigil, she can be seen sitting with the Jersey Devil. So the
All
Jersey
these
Devil,
fucking ghosts are
yes,
like-
they're just friends with the Jersey Devil.
Pals.
They're just BFFs.
Oh, cool.
Haunting, scaring people.
Just BFFs in hell.
That's
fine.
just the forest that I'm gonna live in when I die.
I was gonna say, you
gonna
can
become
take your
friends
little
with the Jersey Devil.
mischievous ghost ass and hang out with the Jersey Devil.
Exactly.
In the haunted
God,
forest.
that sounds so great.
Doesn't it? What an afterlife.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yep.
So another legend says that the Jersey Devil had a son that was human who fell in love with a very rich lady. Her family didn't agree with the relationship, and they took her
no shit.
away.
He's the son of the freaking devil.
Yep.
I wouldn't either. You're not dating that boy.
Fuck no. So they took her away in hopes to keep them apart from each other. But once they reached their destination, the lady killed herself.
Oh.
And it is said that she now follows the Jersey Devil around.
Oh. But they're not friends.
No.
She just follows him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Because she wants his son.
She's not in the club. No.
Poor lady. She just wants to be loved,
wants
okay?
To be friends.
Gosh. So then we have the Black Doctor, which is the ghost of an African-American man known as James Still. So in the 19th century, James was not permitted to practice medicine because of his race. Undiscouraged, James went out to the Pine Barrens to study medicine from his textbooks and also learned herbal medicines from the local Indians. So he obviously died, and there are many different stories of how he died, and some of the stories say that he was lynched after locals found out that he was still studying medicine in the Barrens.
Assholes.
Whereas others say that he was a hero and died of a heart attack. So it's like two extremes.
Yeah, a little opposite.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you'd think that they would have some sort of record as to how he actually died.
I mean, maybe. Record keeping was a little iffy
suppose,
back then. But good for him for being like, screw you guys.
Right?
I'm going to study medicine.
Exactly. You go, guy.
Yeah.
You learn that shit.
Yeah.
So his ghost is known to come out and help injured or stranded travelers in the Pine Barrens.
I'm gonna cry.
So he just pops out and helps everybody.
I love that.
Like, oh, here, this herb will help you. It'll help your wound.
Cool.
Let me stitch you up real quick.
That's amazing.
Right?
So, like, if you, like, trip in the woods and, like, twist your ankle and you're, like, terrified because you think the devil's gonna come get you, and then this, like, nice doctor comes and
he just
patches
comes
you
and
up.
helps.
That's
Exactly.
so cool.
It's perfect. So then, this one made me think of Harry Potter.
Yes.
Is the White Stag.
Oh!
It's so cool.
It's a Patronus.
Yes.
Just like is this whole story about Harry Potter?
I mean, it totally
We
could
have
be,
the
because that's
Grim.
what it sounds like.
We have nearly headless Nick, the pirate dude who
Uh-huh.
has his head fallen off,
Yep.
and then we have the Patronus.
Yep.
Okay.
J.K. Rowling, tell us.
Spoiler, this is actually
it.
Harry Potter.
This is how she got her ideas.
Yep.
So the White Stag is a ghostly white deer said to aid travelers lost in the Pine Barrens. The stag also prevents impending disasters, and it is said to have stopped a stagecoach from crashing into the Batstow River.
Oh yeah, Batstow's the mansion
Batstow.
that I was talking about that they restored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. These ghosts are so helpful.
Right? They're just like,
love
oh,
it.
let me get you to where you need to be.
They almost feel like the forest's like protectors, like just the good spirits
to save
that,
you
like,
from the Jersey Devil.
Yeah. It's like the forces of evil are being balanced by the forces of like nature.
Oh, maybe it's like a vortex something or another. That's not the right word I'm
portal?
looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a portal of good and evil.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where purgatory is.
Oh shit. You're
And
just like
that's
stuck in the
why-
woods and then you've got good and bad spirits.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We're making so many connections today.
Guys, your lives
is
have been
great.
changed forever.
You're welcome.
The world as we know it is different from
Yep.
this day forward.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
cool.
So with regards to the impending disaster and the stagecoach, so it occurred at the Quaker Bridge when horses of a stage, I don't know what that's referring to, like a horse and carriage maybe or
Yeah.
something.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Picture the Wells Fargo, like with the horses.
Okay.
In front. Yeah.
Yeah. So the horses refused to go any further down the road, so the driver climbed out of the stage and noticed a white stag in the road, which then disappeared. He then walked up the road and saw that the bridge was out, and according to the legend, if you see a white stag, it's supposed to be good luck.
Aww.
So,
Expecto Patronum.
yes.
That's
so we need to
awesome.
go see the white stag so
I
we can
love
get some good
that.
luck.
We want to take a picture of him.
Yeah. So there's a couple other just like general ghosts. So there's a ghost of a small boy who is said to haunt the Atco area. The victim, he was a victim of a hit and run and roams the Burnt Mill Road, and he is still searching for his killer.
You go, buddy.
Yeah.
You get him.
Go find him.
Get
Even
him.
though his killer's probably dead.
Probably.
Poor guy. And then the last one, so there's a monument down a road in the forest for Emilio Carranza.
Oh, you getting fancy.
today. So he was a Mexican aviator who flew around the world championing peace. Championing. Championing.
The champion.
That's exactly what I thought of. So he, when he was flying, around the forest. He was looking for a place to land in a storm, and he only had a flashlight to guide him. What a fucking flashlight is gonna do when you're flying in an airplane. Like, this is gonna do nothing.
It's a big-ass flashlight, or else it'd just be like this puny little light.
Like, you're gonna illuminate the inside of your airplane.
You need better equipment, dude.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous. So obviously he then crashed into the Pine Barrens because he couldn't see shit and died.
I mean, his flashlight didn't illuminate the forest for him?
The hell?
You idiot.
So legend holds that if you flash your car lights at the statue, you will hear the plane and see Carranza's flashlight searching for a place to land.
Oh.
So I think that's kind of
He's just,
cool.
like, always trapped in the middle of an aviation accident, never able to escape.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
I know, that'd be awful. I would hate that so much.
I think I actually read about the aviation accident as part of the history. I just didn't take notes on it. Yeah. That's too bad.
That's really sad but cool, I guess. So,
yeah. Cool. There's
a Pine Barrens, friends.
I feel like that one had, like, the whole spectrum of possible ghostly activity.
There's so many spots and, like, hotels and areas within the woods that were haunted too. I'm like, oh, there's so many places I could talk about, but it'd be like hours.
Yeah.
Just because of all the ruins.
All the little dilapidated like settlements and stuff. Like, ugh. And you have to imagine too, if it's kind of like a barren, like, rural area, you probably have, like, vagrants and, like, homeless people maybe, like, taking shelter in the ruins and, like, possibly crimes and murders that I think I read that there have been, like, over 70 bodies, like, clandestine graves found in the Pine Barrens.
Seriously?
Like, 60 or 70, I want to say, because it's just a giant wood, so if you're gonna go bury a body anywhere, go bury them in the frickin' woods.
Because no one's gonna find it.
Yeah, I swear I read that somewhere. It was like 60 or 70 bodies recovered from clandestine graves in the area, which is crazy pants.
Damn, that's terrifying.
Well, what's cool about all the ghosts you talked about too, you have like kind of your stereotypical little boy ghost, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of the typical stuff, and then you have the kind of like demon, devil, goat, lizard creature thing, which you're like, okay, that could, and then like everything in between, like the mythical stag that helps people and the doctor that stitches people up in the woods. It's just so cool.
It's the coolest thing ever.
That's
There's just so
awesome.
many things, and I just really want. I know we say this about every single place that we talk about.
But you actually legit want to go here.
But I actually want to go here because I think it would be absolutely beautiful to see all of the pine trees, to see all of the ruins, and it's just so large that there's just so much to explore and see, and it'd just be the coolest fucking thing ever.
And then we could go to Salem,
yes,
which is not that far from New Jersey.
We just need to take a full road trip on the East Coast.
Let's just take a road trip everywhere.
All around the United States.
You know what? We haven't really talked about anywhere in, like, the Oklahoma, Kansas, like, Nevada. Like, it's kind of like the middle chunk of the United States has just been kind of, like, non-existent. So we'll just skirt that whole area.
Perfect. That's
hang out on the East and West Coast.
I mean, that's where most of the exciting things have happened.
Yeah,
so
it's true. Well, maybe we'll try to find some places maybe in the more, like, middle of the country so no one feels left out.
We can do that.
Yeah.
So
that was the Pine Barrens, friends.
Pine Barrens. Super fun.
If you guys have places you want to hear us talk about,
let us know. Send it in.
Send an email to Nightmare Nation 19. Yes. Oh my god, I like panicked for a second. nightmarenation19@gmail.com.
Or check us out on the social media on Facebook, nightmare_nation19, or the Instagram, nightmare.nation19. Like us, subscribe.
Give us a review. Send in any stories of anything scary or paranormal.
Please. We want to hear about it.
If it's happened to you or a friend or a family member or anyone in your life, anything scary or unexplained, possibly paranormal, doesn't have to be paranormal. We want to hear about it.
We do.
Let us know.
And
then we'll read it at the end of the episode.
And it's perfect because we love stories.
The greatest.
They're just our favorite.
Greatest. Or also pictures, like some of our awesome listeners who have sent in amazing pictures of places they've been to. So thanks, friends. Keep it up.
Yes, please. That'd be awesome.
In the meantime,
don't use Ouija boards.
And stay safe.
Please.
Okay.
Be nice to nature.
Be nice to nature, and please do not have a seance.
Don't have a seance.
Please go visit the Pine Barrens.
Yes, and let us know how your trip went.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.